Is it his time? And welcome to Off the Tee, a pop-up edition. My name is Chris Exusion. You can find me at Chris Ebom. Thanks for tuning in. Wanted to talk about the Valspar tournament. We got some round 4 action that we can get our hands on for the most part. Thank you guys for watching Off the Tee on the Heat Ratio Network. I appreciate it. If you watched the show on Monday, guess what? You're already free rolling. You have an 80-1 winner with Keegan Bradley after being the first round leader, 80-1. So do not miss out on this show on Monday nights. You get an 80-1 winner. No matter what you're betting right now, you should still have some free roll money and some profit on top of that. So thank you guys for tuning in. I'm cashing. You guys are cashing as well for following the show, and I can really, really appreciate that. And it's been a really good tournament so far. I got a round 4 matchup play that I absolutely love. I had to get on here and pretty much talk about it. And also I'm looking at who can win this tournament. I saw some very interesting stats that can lead to the winner, and you're still getting plus money on him. So I feel like that is important. He's not a household name, but I feel like this guy could definitely win, and the stats show it for me. But before I get into that guy, I want to get into the round 4 matchup plays. So let's look at those right now. I'm looking on DraftKings right now. And my favorite matchup play that I saw, let me get that up here right now. And if you guys have any questions about bets or anything, I'm more than happy to answer them. Put it through the comments, and I could check out any plays that you're looking at and give you my opinion about them the week and a half here. So let's do that as well. All right. The matchup play that I really like, though, is Jason Duffner versus Pat Perez. He's minus 109 without the draw. So Jason Duffner, I'm going to put that in right now, and I'm going to get into that 1 second. Jason Duffner minus 109 versus Pat Perez, round 4 matchup. All right, so that's the first play that I really like here. It's my favorite play on the board this week. Jason Duffner, minus 109 versus Pat Perez. Round 4 matchup play. No tie involved. That's my absolute play I love. And I'm going to tell you why I really like this play. I'm not just going to say a play and just throw it out there. This is my favorite play, and I'm going to tell you why here. So I'm going to look at what these guys have done recently. Let's see, let me get the stats up here. Duffner and Perez. And before we get into this anyway, I'm going to have a nice little drink here. All right. I got Dom checking in. What up, Chris? What happened, Dom? How you doing, man? Thanks for tuning in. Just throwing out my first play here that I really like this tomorrow pretty much. So that's what's going on. Trying to get you guys some more winners. And if you didn't know, on my show on Monday, I released the play with Keegan Bradley. He was 80-1 to lead after first round in that cash. So that was real big. So hopefully you guys continue to tune in. It's going to be 9:30s on Mondays. You can find it on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, everywhere. So it should be everywhere for the most part. I'm going to have Sia Najad on Monday, and we're going to break down some DFS and some betting plays. So it's going to be a lot of fun. He's a well-respected golf betting mind that I talk to all the time. Had to have him on my show, so I'm going to have him on there on Monday. So Yeah, so Jason Duffner and Pat Perez. So I'm looking at what they're doing here. Pat Perez is shooting one stroke better than him right now. I'm not too concerned about that. The stats I'm looking at are strokes gained off the tee. He's pretty much shooting 3 strokes better off the tee, Jason Duffner and Pat Perez. And he's also shooting about 2 strokes better on approach. And he's shooting about almost 3 shots better around the green. Those are all very important here. And really, the only saving grace for Pat Perez this whole week has been his putter. He's about 6 strokes game putting. That's pretty outrageous. I think that's going to drop down for him. He never putts this good ever. So on a Sunday that he's kind of near contention, I mean, yeah, he's probably about 9 strokes back, but still, he's going to feel some pressure on top of that. I just don't really like him here. And Duffner's been putting terrible. He's losing 3 strokes off the tee. I mean, not off the tee, excuse me, strokes game putting. So there's a big flip there. And if he's even just putting somewhat good, I think he should beat him easily, Jason Duffner. He should take down Pat Perez, no problem. And the strokes game tee to green pretty much tells the true story without the putter. Jason Duffner, he's gaining 6.5 strokes, gain tee to green, and Pat Perez is negative 1.42 strokes. He's losing almost a stroke and a half on the play. And the only reason why he's even doing well is because of the putter, and that should not even last that long. So that's going to come to an end here, and I really like Jason Duffner here. And a lot of guys don't know who Jason Duffner really is for the most part, but I just want to bring up what he's been doing of late. Let me see, 1 second. Holy Grail. All right. So Jason Duffner, at these kind of courses, has played pretty well. I bring him up here. Jason Duffner. And if you don't know the architect, his name is Larry Packard. So this is what is going on here. Oh, yeah. Loaded White Claw, my friend. Loaded. These surges are awesome, by the way. No joke. 8%, 2 grams of carbs. I need to get them as a sponsor. This is a great drink. It's booze. People are like, oh, it's too boozy, but it's like 8%, so it doesn't even matter. It's a great drink if you're looking to cut out the carbs. I mean, I'm a big IPA man myself, so I mean, this just seems like the perfect combination to get a little kickstart over here. So while I'm talking about these plays, have a nice, delicious beverage. I hope you guys are doing the same. But anyway, back to Jason Duffner over here. So on these Packard courses over here, he's only had two days, a first round and a second round where he's lost 1 stroke or 1.5 strokes. So it's not that big of a deal. The rest of the time he's been in the pluses. So if he's in the plus, he's going to run away with this competition. And minus 109, that's not that much juice. And honestly, it's a slam dunk. He's gonna beat him tomorrow. And Pat Perez hasn't really had any course experience with these kind of designs that Packers had. So I feel like that's very important to look at. So and also if you want to look at what Duffner's done on a round 4, let's see what he's done on a round 4. He's gained almost 4 strokes total, 3 strokes gained putting in 2017 at the Valspar, and then 2016 he's also gained over 2 strokes total. So if you guys are looking to bet something tomorrow, this is the bet. It's Jason Duffner. You're seeing on the bottom line right here. Jason Duffner minus 109 versus Pat Perez. Round 4 matchup play. No tie involved. This is on DraftKings. You could probably find it other books, but I'm just using DraftKings for the most part. Oh, what up, Grant? How you doing? Thanks for tuning in. So, yeah, so I'm liking Duffner at that spot. If you're looking for a guy to win this here, I'm looking at the odds right now. You got Keegan Bradley 2-1, Sam Burns 2.25, Max Homa 2.5, and then you got Abraham Answer 14-1 and Joaquin Neiman 14-1. Those are kind of the top guys right there. I'm liking the fact that Keegan Bradley. I'm looking at what he's done this week. He's not a household name. He's not one of the names that you know. Sam Burns has been kind of he was playing really well early and then he kind of fell off. He kind of fell apart that one term. I believe it was the Genesis he fell apart at. But if you're looking at against Sam Burns, Not even just in general, like the matchup play in general. If you bet them straight up in a matchup play without a tie. Let me see where the odds at. I believe, yeah, Keegan Bradley's a minus 132 favorite. That's a huge favorite, especially against a Sam Burns who's a young upcoming golfer. This screams out Keegan Bradley on top of that. So don't even bet Keegan Bradley straight up against Sam Burns. If you're going to take Keegan Bradley, which I feel like you should, if you have no skin in the game and you want to take a 2-1 guy that you're feeling froggy and you want to leap, Keegan Bradley's your guy. And I'm going to tell you why. His stats have been unreal. So if you're going to just compare the two, Sam Burns and him that are tied right now, they're going to take Max Homa out of the equation, who still has a good shot of winning this. I would take probably Max Homa over Sam Burns. He's been a little bit more proven. So that's my opinion on that spot. The strokes gained off the tee, we got Keegan Bradley beating him there. And meanwhile, Burns is a better driver than him, and he's actually been driving better than him all week. I know Burns is the longer driver, but you know, you got to be accurate on these fairways. They're really narrow, and that's very important. And the strokes gain approach, Keegan Bradley's plus 6.94 strokes gain approach. And while Sam Burns is just 2 strokes gain approach, that's like 3 times better. And approach game is huge at this course, and he's been crushing it here. And the strokes gained around the green, Keegan Bradley's is better than him there. The only thing that Sam Burns has been better than him at is strokes gained putting, and he has 7 strokes gained putting plus Sam Burns, and that's just ridiculous. That's hard to maintain. He's had a good run of it. There's going to be regression with it. And meanwhile, Keegan Bradley is just 1 strokes gained putting, pretty solid, nothing crazy. He hasn't had to rely on his putter. He's been awesome with his irons. And the main storyline is the strokes gained tee to green. If you don't know what that is, that's the stats of off the tee, approach, and around the green without the putter. And Keegan Bradley is plus 12.44 strokes gained tee to green. And meanwhile, Sam Burns is plus 6.32. He's 6 strokes better than him. And it hasn't shown yet because his putter's been real hot, but that putter cannot stay hot anymore. He's been riding a real big high, Sam Burns, and I feel like Keegan Bradley is your guy here. If based on his game, he has the better stats. He has better stats than Homa, and his putter hasn't been terrible. But you know what? If his putter gets hot, which it could easily, these guys get hot putters every so often. Maybe he turns it up on Sunday. This is kind of a weird tournament, Valspar. It's not a big tournament. It's just kind of thrown in there. This is a tournament that Keegan Bradley can win. It's not, if it was a bigger event, I probably wouldn't look too much into Keegan Bradley winning this. But since this is a lesser of an event, and then you got Wells Fargo next week, and then we're going to get into either the Players or the PGA Championship. I'm not sure. Let me see what it is. Let me get the PGA schedule up. So there's a big tournament coming up. So we got the Valspar, Wells Fargo, AT&T, and then the PGA Championship. So this one in general has the smallest purse out of this. Wells Fargo has a bigger purse, AT&T has a bigger purse, and of course the PGA Championship's $11 million. So this is a lesser of a tournament. This is a really good spot for a Keegan Bradley to win this tournament. He was first round leader. He's hung around. I didn't think he would personally. I had him for top 30 for plus 175. That's an automatic cash at this point. So if you watched my show, that was one of the plays I gave out. Top 30 Keegan Bradley plus 175. That's going to be a winner. That's almost 2-1 on your money. And then we got a couple other guys in the top 20s that are hanging around as well, and top 10s. I'll recap those on Monday with Sia and Najad. So that's a play I'm looking for as well. If you guys have any questions about bets, matchup plays, I'm more than happy to answer them. I'm going to look at the card a little bit more, see if there's a group play that I feel would be worth a shot. The Jason Duffner minus 109 versus Pat Perez. That's the play I'm definitely playing. That should be real solid. No tie involved because we don't want to lose with a tie. So thank you guys for checking in. I appreciate it. Thanks for the likes, everything else. I really appreciate it. If you guys are feeling froggy for tomorrow, I got some plays for you. So there was another spot that I was looking at as well. I think Keegan Bradley minus 132. I would just take Keegan Bradley 2-1 because I think it could be down to those guys. That doesn't really make any sense. I'm also looking at, let's see what else we got here. I'm going to put a couple guys in here to see what I can come up with. I think honestly, Keegan Bradley is the play for the win for 2-1. I know he was like a bigger dog, and it's not looking that great as far as taking somebody that was a huge dog. Now he's 2-1, but you got to look at the stats. His putter hasn't been amazing, but he's been doing everything else better than everybody. And if you're looking to get some sort of skin in the game tomorrow, 2-1, I think it's real good there. You could possibly take a chance on Joaquin Neiman at 14-1. Very good with his irons, can be real streaky. Today he had 4 birdies and straight pars, which is a pretty clean sheet for him. Typically, he's a guy that has birdies, bogeys, all kinds of stuff. Pretty much a colorful card. So if you're looking at some round 6 shooters for round 4, these are, so if you don't know what a round 6 shooter is, it's they throw 6 golfers in, and they have plus odds on all of them, and it's just, you might be able to take like a really good golfer and get really good odds on them. The first one here is Scotty Scheffler, Cameron Tringali, Brent Snedeker, Charlie Hoffman, Bubba Watson, Troy Merritt. If I put those guys into my system, let me put those guys in there. Snedeker. And Troy Merritt. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay. So let's look at these guys over here. Let's see what we got here. The guy I actually would take here, and he is Charlie Hoffman. He's plus 335. He's the second favorite there. He's been playing really solid. His strokes gained tee to green is the highest out of them all. And meanwhile, his putter is the second lowest. His putter rating is the second lowest, which I really like, because I like to take guys that have had a low putter, because I feel like they're going to get that momentum better for the putter as well. Let's see where he's at for approach game. His approach game hasn't been that good, but let's see. His green game must be really good. Yeah, and it is. I would take a shot with Charlie Hoffman, plus 335 in that group there. And then if we're looking at another group, we got Abraham Answer. Let's put these guys in real quick. Answer. And Adley, Burns, and Potter. Yeah, Potter's been playing really well of late. It's been pretty crazy. Let's see what I got here. This might be a good spot for Justin. I don't know. Justin Thomas isn't even in this group. So, yeah, it's looking like a Keegan Bradley spot. So if you parlayed those two for the 6 shooters, you have Charlie Hoffman, and you got Keegan Bradley plus 4.5. You would get, let's see what we get here. You get over almost 23-1 on that right there, just on those 2 guys. So 23-1, looking real solid if you took those guys as well. So finally, to end everything here, since there aren't really many questions tonight, I'll put out my final 2 plays that I really like that I'm going to be playing. And So make sure those run through. I know he's the chalk to win it right now, but I think that speaks volumes because he's not a big name. You have Sam Burns, you have Max Homa, guys that have been more flashes of the pan. Homa won the Genesis. That was a big tournament. So let's get those scrolling through. So finally, the two plays I really like: Jason Duffner -109 versus Pat Perez, match 4, match play, and Keegan Bradley +200 to win live. He just has the best numbers. These are the two plays that I really like. If you want me to get into some other matchup plays, I'm more than happy to. But those are the two that stood out for me. Not forcing anything. These are the two. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. You can find me at Chris Ebom on Twitter. And you could find my show pretty much on the Heat Ratio Network on Twitter, on Facebook, on Twitch, all those good spots. Thanks again, guys. And let's go make that money.